Okay, this is the first of several videos where I'd like to talk about camera equipment. And I'd like to start off simply. I'd just like to talk about the 50mm 1.4 versus the 50mm 1.8, or, and I consider this the same thing, the 85mm 1.8 versus the 85mm 1.4. By the way, this video is being taken by a Nikon D800 with the 50mm 1.4. Now, the bottom line is going to be that I'm recommending the 1.8s in both cases. For sharpness, the 1.4s have a very slight advantage, but they're about the same. For cost, there's a great advantage to the 1.8s. In build quality, the 1.4s have an advantage, but it's not so much that I think it undoes the cost advantage of the 1.8s. If you think you need that extra build quality, it might be cheaper to buy a backup one. In the case of the 85, it's cheaper to buy a backup 1.8. And if you consider the time value of money, the build quality does not overcome the cost advantage. For size and weight, the 1.8s are smaller and weigh less. And for focus speed and usability, I consider that they're a tie. Of course, the 1.4s, and this is the, you may think this is the crux of it, the 1.4s are faster. The difference between 1.4 and 1.8 is 2/3 of a stop. I never found it to be that big a deal. 2/3 of a stop, not so much. And in terms of the bokeh, I really haven't noticed enough difference to care about that either. Care about the difference between 1.4 and 1.8. So that's it. That's my video on the 50mm 1.8s versus the 50mm 1.4s, and also the 85s. There are other focal lengths that I don't have experience with, so I won't tell you what I think of those that I have no experience with.